Take a look at these con men we caught in action using our cameras on the ground and a drone in the sky. Scooter riding scammers all around Guaranteed Rate Field, even on the highway. They're pretending to be parking attendants and ripping off drivers heading to a recent White Sox game. As CBS 2 investigator Dave Savini found, this old scam has a new threatening twist when drivers refuse to pay up.
I'm tailing them. They're on 35th. They're east of the expressway.
There they are. You are watching a modern-day version of highway robbery.
Here's the money.
An organized team of thieves on motorized scooters swindling travelers in the middle of rush hour on the Dan Ryan Expressway.
We didn't see any police nearby, so that made us even more nervous.
We caught them demanding $40 in cash in order to pass.
They don't let you turn right unless you pay them the money.
It's kind of an extortion in a way.
Ryan Cawley and his wife Jackie were heading to a Chicago White Sox game when they were surrounded.
I just remember he went around to my side of the vehicle, and he was swearing at Ryan because Ryan had said no. And then at that point, he started swearing really loudly and then started kicking the car.
The scammers pretending to be official White Sox parking attendants.
They had the yellow vests on, and they had a fistful of cash, which gives them, the appearance that they're actually legit.
And they're on phones.
We were a little bit late, so it was like, the game's already started. The game's already started. Here, we need $40 cash. There's no spots left. If you want to get a spot, you got to give me the money now. Now. And I said, well, I don't have $40 in cash. And I thought, the sign says credit debit. I have my credit card. He's like, no, man, that's not how it works. You need $40 cash. This is the last spot left. This is it.
And when you told them, no, I'm not going to pay it, they got aggressive.
Yeah, and I think that was around the time when he went around to the back and just started kicking us to get out.
And we've heard from other fans who have had their cars blocked, kicked, or punched. One woman reported to a traffic aide she was spit on when she refused to pay.
We hear from a lot of people who are mad about it.
Scott Reifert is the Chicago White Sox Vice President of Communications.
They're going the wrong way down the ramps and down the Dan Ryan.
Yeah.
He says they requested more police around the stadium for this season after we exposed another team of bogus parking attendants ripping off drivers last year. White Sox parking, right? White Sox parking. No. Selling parking tickets they had no right to sell on streets around the ballpark, even using an official White Sox parking sign to lure in fans who often end up getting parking tickets.
These guys have been out here selling stickers all day long.
Back then, police just stood by while it all happened, and the con men didn't stop until we confronted them.
You're selling stickers?
I ain't selling.
Then this new team of scammers on scooters started operating this season, and the White Sox asked us to come back to catch and stop them too.
Now they're actually out on the highway.
Yeah. Well, I think they're getting desperate, probably. They're getting, you knocked them out of one area and another, and now they're coming all the way down. And that's a risky move, too. I mean, yeah, that could be dangerous.
The CBS 2 investigators found them in August, jamming up the highway between the 31st and 35th Street ramps.
This says $40. The guy up at the ramp right there.
What did he say, $40?
He said it was $40.
You said no, right?
Fans in this pickup truck shouted for police on foot patrol to help.
They're right there. They're right there.
Here's what we know about the operation. Before each game, the scammers assemble in a parking lot inside the Wentworth Gardens neighborhood. This man in the black hoodie appeared to be the leader, shouting out commands. The scooter crew operates freely, easily ripping off people.
They're down on the ramp. Well, he just took off. It's one of them.
Using lookouts to evade police.
There's 3 of them on scooters.
But there is something these con men could not escape. The CBS 2 game.
On the actual Dan Ryan.
Amazingly brazen, right? I mean, but these are scammers. They're just trying to take your money. They're trying to bully you, get you to stop and roll down a window and take your money.
They can be hard to catch. Watch as a state trooper cuts them off, and they take off the other way down the Dan Ryan.
Now they're using scooters.
It makes it much more complicated. They move. It's whack-a-mole.
White Sox officials say the scammers are also suspected of creating diversions. In one case, a 911 call was made claiming an off-duty officer was down, shot, here by the metro station, a few blocks east of the ballpark, to draw police away so they could freely continue to run their scam.
It was more of a shakedown. than a scam.
It's more of a, I'm blocking your way.
The scammers don't just work the highway. The Collies say they were stopped as they tried to turn by this church right before the official entrance to a Sox parking lot.
We got to make it as difficult as we can for them and as challenging, and we got to make the punishment be there.
The White Sox even put up "Say No to Scammer" signs to try and warn fans only debit and credit cards are accepted in their lots, never cash. But look at the scammers operating their cash grab right in front of those signs. It wasn't until they spotted our drone that they finally scattered.
I felt afraid, and I didn't want anything to happen to our son.
She was especially worried about their little boy Jack. It was supposed to be his first baseball game. The 2-year-old was in the back seat as they kicked and banged the car.
I know he saw that there was a child there, so.
Were you feeling some kind of fear?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I am still kind of afraid to go back. I don't think we will.
The Collie family never did make it to that game. They just turned around and went home. White Sox officials say the scammers appear to have scaled back their operation since we captured their faces on our drone. Chicago police would not do an on-camera interview about all this. They did tell us they beefed up patrols around the stadium. Dave Savini, CBS 2 Investigators.
Dave has been relentless in exposing parking scams outside not only Guaranteed Rate, but concerts as well. To see his investigations, download our CBS Chicago app.